Hello and welcome to Author Talk with me, LG Thompson. Now, the concept behind Author Talk is that on Tuesdays I'll be answering the kind of questions that authors very often get asked by readers, and on Fridays I'll be sharing some of my favourite books. And today's book is Whalefall by Daniel Kraus. Before we get started with that, please don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Whalefall by Daniel Kraus is published by Simon & Schuster. Daniel Kraus is an American author and he's been on the New York Times best-selling list. So among the books that I've shared so far, I guess he's a bit unusual because that's fairly mainstream. The reason I bought Whalefall is because it came up on Kindle recommendations for me from Amazon. I mean, usually I just kind of skim through these and like most of them I go, why on earth did they think I'd be interested in that? But Whalefall caught my eye, the title first of all, and then the little bit of blurb I read. All it said was a scuba diver gets swallowed by a whale and has got so many hours to get out. And yeah, that was it. That was all I needed. I was just like straight in there, like let me at it. I have to admit I didn't expect very much. Usually these kind of ideas are, they sound great and then they just don't play out that well. It's a bit like watching Tremors for the first time and kind of expecting it to be a load of rubbish, and it's actually a fantastic horror stroke comedy film. It's really, really good. Well, Whalefall's a bit like that. Like you go in there, and you do get the whole thing, like a scuba diver is swallowed by a whale. This book absolutely delivers on that. But the whole story is about so much more than that. It's about the scuba diver who's swallowed by the whale is a teenager, and the whole book is really about, well, it is about him trying to get outside of the whale that swallowed him. But the main thrust of it is about the relationship between the teenage diver and his father. And so it's very layered because you've got the family stuff that starts to slowly get revealed. I mean, at the start of it, you're with the guy, the teenager, and his father does come across as a complete arsehole. But as the book goes on, the teenager starts to question himself, and you start to kind of wonder, well, who was the bad guy here, or was anyone a bad guy? I mean, it's nicely complex, it's nicely drawn out, and it's really nice to read a kind of father-son novel. If it had been sold as being a book about relationships, about a father-son relationship, I wouldn't have gone there. But when I read that it was about a diver being swallowed by a whale, I mean, you just couldn't hold me back. But Whalefall was absolutely fantastic. It delivers on all fronts. It's hugely gripping. It was a book that I just really didn't want to put down. Really, really, really enjoyed it. Whalefall isn't the first book written by Daniel Kraus that I've read. I've also read The Living Dead, which was written by Daniel Kraus and George Romero. George Romero, of course, is the man who is behind the whole of the Living Dead thing. He wrote, directed Night of the Living Dead, which is one of my favourite films of all time, and Dawn of the Dead, I think, is even more my favourite, if that's even an expression. And Daniel Kraus has got a long-standing relationship, or had a relationship with George Romero, and has got an ongoing relationship with the Romero estate. And in 2026 he's got a new book coming out, and it's described as a cinematic memoir. The title is, I need to read it from here because I need to make sure I get it right. Partially Devoured: How Night of the Living Dead Saved My Life and Changed the World. So a cinematic memoir by Daniel Kraus. I don't know if I have ever been so excited to hear about a book. I love the work of George Romero. I loved Whalefall, and now we're going to get Daniel Kraus's take on the whole kind of Living Dead world. I go zombies, divers being swallowed by sperm whales. There's even a giant squid in this book. I a giant squid and a teenage diver being swallowed by a sperm whale. Oh my God, what's not to love? So if you're one of the few people on the planet that hasn't read Whalefall, then, you know, give yourself a treat, get stuck in. I think it's going to be getting made into a film, and I will be like queuing up there. I hope it's going to be a good film. I hope it's going to live up to the book. I can't see how it's going to... Yeah, they can do lots of good stuff these days. I'm just thinking about the whole... I hope it's going to be good. It better be good. Anyway, that's this week's recommendation. Whalefall by Daniel Kraus. And thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you next time on Author Talk. Moby Dick. Geppetto. Pinocchio. Call me Ishmael. They're coming to get you, Barbara.